Hi, Susan here. I have something to share about a really exciting accomplishment that I had this weekend. I published an article that has been my lifetime in the making. Now, let me explain that. I published an article this weekend about learning lessons from suffering, pain, adversity, challenges, whatever you want to call it. But taking a personal adversity, pain, suffering situation and learning the lesson that is to be learned within it and growing from it. And it's something that it's a gift that I have been given, and I'm going to tell you a story so that hopefully I can show that I've always done this. So when I was born with asthma. If you don't know what asthma is, it's a breathing disorder where your airways literally spasm and try to close off and make it very difficult to breathe. So being born with this, and it was fairly severe when I was born, so for the first 2 years of my life, I was more in the hospital than home. And then it started to get less and less. And then shortly after I was 4, it actually got quite a bit less, and I grew out of it until to the point that I actually no longer have asthma. So anyway, during this time, I must have been just literally born with the determination because I just was always feisty. And if I was told, even as a child, that I could not do something, I would figure out how to get it done if I really wanted to do it. Or I would take a situation and turn it around to benefit or help someone. So during these multiple hospital admissions, um, I, my memory, I even from a very young child, I remember little bits and pieces of being in the hospital. And a lot of these memories were between probably about 3 and 4 years old from what I can figure out with my mom. So in the children's ward, in the middle of the room, usually they brought this, what appeared to be a child, but he was actually 18 at the time, was in those big metal cribs that they had at that time, and his name was Brian. And so I remember spending a lot of time with Brian, and I was actually quite perturbed with the nurses, and they then became perturbed with me because I decided that I didn't like how they did not look after him. He was laying on the same side all the time, to the point that his head was flattened on that side, and even his jaw was flattened from just laying there all the time. He couldn't speak, and he would just make noises, and I took it upon myself to make it my business. So I would spend hours with him, talking to him, saying his name. First thing in the morning, I would go up to him and say, "Hi, Brian, it's Sue," and just talk to him and make noises with him and such. And then I would insist with the nurses until they finally got him up. They would get him up in a chair. They found a recliner to put him up in, and I would insist that they turn him. I insisted that I would put pillows in there and insist that they prop him up, sitting up in his bed. I would feed him. And by the time I was spending less time there, Brian could say my name. So first thing in the morning, I would go and I would say, "Hi, Brian," and do my little thing. And he could say, in his garbled word, he could say, "Hello, Sue." And I was so proud of that. I remember the nurses not being happy with me. Or maybe they were secretly happy, I'm not sure, and I really don't care. But anyway, so I hated being stuck in the hospital because I was an outside kid. I liked being outside and playing, and I just felt so restricted. So I turned it around to use my time and do something good and help somebody. And I've just always done that. It's just been my thing. You turn a suffering into either a personal lesson or learn from it and help somebody else with that. So in this article, I told a different story of my asthma. So you can click on the link below and go and read what the other thing that I did with my asthma, so I wasn't as dependent on the medication. I just think it's a really important lesson for all of us because it's just a fact of life. Adversity, challenges, and suffering it's just life. So either make the best of it and get past it, or go ahead and sit and wallow in your pain and suffering, and then you'll stay there. But the only way that you can be the best person that you can be is engage and embrace what you're in, and either learn your lesson so that you can move on from it, or learn the lesson and share it with others because somebody else is going through a like situation and will gain value from your story. The other part of my message today is, because this is something that I am really passionate about, and it's actually my purpose, why I came online, to show others, teach others the lessons that I have learned to help them get through them, is I connect with other people who are the same, who face their adversities and challenges the same. And I've connected with a lady that has a similar nerve injury that I do. My nerve damage is in my neck, and hers is in her back. She's also in Empower Network, and it was her that initially inspired me and gave me the courage to get past my video phobia. And I am super excited to be able to meet this lady. This is going to be an ultimate moment of my life because she has been grandly successful with Empower Network, even though she works on her laptop majority of the time laying down because of her nerve damage, just like I do. And it's really exciting because she just got her passport documentation initiated, and she is traveling to, I forget where, to a city to go and have an interview to get her passport done. And she is going to be at the next Empower Network event in Denver, July 19th to 21st. And so am I. So I get to meet her, Christina Manaz. Many people are going to be excited to meet this lady because she has inspired so many people. My reason is just a little bit different than everyone else's because I so relate to her. I work the same way as her. I do 80% of my work, my building my business with Empower Network in bed. I have constant pain just like she does, and I am just really excited to meet her. She has taken her struggle and empowered herself to move past it and work around it, and she has succeeded and is still succeeding. What an inspiration that is. Because of her nerve damage, she couldn't work anymore, and she just faced it and moved on. So that's what I have to share with you guys today. Thank you for listening. If you're not already connected with me, go ahead, click the link below, connect with me. Make sure you read that article and give me some feedback, because that would mean a lot to me. I am empowered on purpose. I hope you are too.